Yes, the boys, good morning, welcome back to another video. Doing check-ins for nearly 2 hours. It's nearly 7:15. At 7:15 every morning, I make sure I've got 5 minutes free because all I do is go and jump on Lucy and wake her up every morning. So that's what we're about to do right now. In 1 minute, we're gonna go and get her. And then it's mini cut time, boys. So I'll be running you through the game plan. Let's go wake her up. Breakfast time, so yeah, it is mini cut time, boys. Food has come down, so I've got 2,600 calories today. Training day is 2,750, so a decent drop, nothing like absolutely crazy. Literally the main difference now, if you watch my last full day of eating, this meal, we've got no sourdough. So this is just eggs and whey. To be fair, I don't actually mind having no carbohydrates with this meal, right? Like that means I can still keep my carbs later on in the day and around my training. So this meal, I've literally just taken the sourdough out, and then when I take my raisins and my rice cakes out of my oats, that's pretty much the same day, right? So it's nice and simple to make that change straight away. So we've pulled food down, steps have gone from 7K, 10K, and then my cardio has, well, it's gone to 5 lots of 20 minutes post-workout, right? So I'm already come down from, I was 88, then I was 87.7, then I was 87.3 this morning. So hopefully when I take my check-in pictures on Friday, that will have literally been from the 88 down into them 86s, which is like a good drop straight away. So this is going to be 5 weeks, hoping to get to be fair, just around the 84 mark I'll be pretty happy with, and then in a good position to push again. So that is what we're doing. I'll break down a little bit more about like why I'm actually doing that and what to think about if you need a mini cut. So any questions as well, fire them in the comments. Also, boys, I just bought a new camera. This isn't the new camera, this is the same one. But the camera that I've bought is actually sick. I'm excited to use it. So make sure you're subbed because it helps massively. There's videos coming weekly, so make sure you sub because they're coming. And that camera is a fucking cool one, so I'll show you that. But I'm gonna make this meal, I'll show you how peasant it looks, and then it's rest day again. So we're straight back to check-ins. Right, boys, we are full meal one peasant mode, mate. So you can see with the eggs now, I've just popped the yolk all over it. It is literally 2 whole eggs and then the whey. So then the carbs for all my other meals pretty much stay the same. Like that was a decent bit of sourdough that I'm getting rid of. So nice easy change, boys, nice easy change. This will take me 2 seconds to eat. Just sat down to eat, 1 mouthful. Doorbell goes, geezer's come to look at the light. We've got that light up there that keeps flickering. I've still not eaten that. So I need to actually eat that now. Literally just, I can't fucking see. I've just been stood there looking at the light going on and off. The light's been flickering. Geezer comes round, turn the light on. It's not flickering, is it? Of course. So he probably thinks there's nothing wrong with it, which is great. But now I can actually eat my breakfast. And I'm fucking starving as well because it is now 9:30. Meal 2 time. So if we look at this now to last week, right, I'll show you how easy this is. So when we look, this day last week, right, breakfast, I had 270 calories from sourdough and then 60 calories from peanut butter. So that's over 300 calories. And then from this meal, I had 20 grams of raisins. So straight away, I'm literally pulling like easy 400 calories just from no sourdough, no peanut butter, no raisins. So it's easy, and that's what I mean. My meals haven't changed. I've just pulled around. I thought my oats had spilled over. I've just moved around the serving sizes, and that's all you need to do, boys. Like, have the base of your meals set there, and you can just literally, when calories are going up, when calories are coming down, just pull things away. Like, it makes it so easy. So I am gonna have to actively get some more steps from today, because obviously, like 7,000, I have to make sure I do, because as you'll see from the videos, I'm literally sat upstairs all day or in this room. So I need to actually make sure I go out and get some done. I'll go out now after this meal and go for a little walk. I'll probably go get a Monster, and then I'll go later with Lucy as well, because Lucy's on a little mini turbo shred. So the oats will go down and then we'll get out for a walk. Does Bradley Martin release a podcast every Wednesday? Because he must do, because I was listening to that last 4 day of eating. We'll go for the straw flavour drops in there. We'll give that a good old mix around. And they're just talking about like loads of planes keep crashing. That is my biggest fear. Like literally, I'm not like a little scaredy cat, but I don't get how people are so chilled about flying. Like, you're literally 30,000 feet in the air. And like, I know people say, oh, it's like safer to drive and stuff like that, but yeah, you're not gonna absolutely nosedive to the floor though if something goes wrong, are you? So it's a little bit different in my opinion. You're just trusting some geezer to fly you around. That's my thoughts on that anyway. Always thought that. If you're chilled flying, you're a madman. As always, fellas, we don't miss. We do not miss.
Like, if I'm gonna have a kid that like that.
Getting some steps done. Why is it so cold? Like, literally, I've come back in to finish form analysis because it is absolutely freezing. My hands are killing me. So I've got some videos here from Dean. I'll show you exactly what I do with form analysis. And then we're getting a monster. And then we're getting back into the second block of check-ins. So, as you can see here, right? So like, when a client gets a check-in, they'll get that there. So like, when a client receives their check-in now, you see it comes through to Loom, and then obviously that video will play for them. So like, when we're on Dean's there, he can just literally watch that, and we break down absolutely everything from the week. And like I've done there, you can put it on like 2x speed, you can have it on normal 1x speed. So it's really good. So Dean is over in Australia now. So like, when he sent his form videos through, like, I've not watched these yet. So I'll literally show you what I do. So I will, obviously I'm not gonna play through every single set, but I will watch the sets. So we've got 4 here, we've got a preacher, we've got a pec deck. So I'll watch them, and what I'm looking for is, you know, any little changes that we can make. You know, is intensity in a good spot? All of those little things we will look at, and we'll just give them pointers. So then when Dean goes into that next session, like, not only then does he know exactly what he's doing for the week from check-in, but he knows exactly what to do in each session as well to improve them. So we do cover literally all bases, and that's why I absolutely love it. So I'll give you an example now on the kind of things that I touch on. And usually what I'll do, if you can for me, drop me a nice comment. Just let Lucy know, boys, that if the washing is in the back, it's fine. No one cares. That'd be great. Yes, Dean, right, bro. So on your preacher curl, mate, I'm very happy with those. They're literally perfect. We're locked in. Just make sure, mate, as we progress them now, drive through, and just make sure we don't use any momentum, which is bang on, mate. I'm very happy with those. As far away from yourself as you can, as always. You can actually try, mate, keeping all of your weight through your left side when you're using that arm, and it will make a difference, mate. But form-wise, mate, on all 4, very, very good. So sometimes, like with Dean's been with me for a long time. There's not like absolutely loads to go through, but still then at least he knows that, right? He knows what he's doing is bang on, so he can go into the next session with full confidence to just absolutely drill that. Let's get in the car, let's get a monster. Unless we've got one, have we got one? I don't have one. These though, fellas, these are banging. I'm usually a Pepsi man, right? But Sublime Lime, those Diet Cokes are absolutely unreal. I like a Pepsi Max Lime or them. They're very, very nice. What do I need, boys? I'm going to the shop. I think that sound, I froze it and then I put it in the fridge. And then I need some almond milk. And then me and Lucy going shopping later, but I need almond milk. So I'm gonna get almond milk and Monster. Also, I don't know why, I touched on this a couple of videos ago probably now. I've never been into cars and I keep looking at cars. Next car, I don't know what I want. I keep looking at a Mustang. I don't want to spend that money on a Mustang, to be honest. So I don't know, but now I keep saying that. I keep seeing them everywhere. To be fair, I think it's Marbella. I think being in Marbella, the amount of nice cars you see, that's kind of made me want one. But I'm happy with my Monster for now. £1.70 Monster, let's go. Right boys, so why a mini cut? When do we mini cut, right? So I have been in a gaining phase for 27 weeks. So that is a very long time, right? So I know past this point, that's when things can start to get just a little bit sloppy for me. So that's why I'd rather have 5 weeks pulling down now so I can actually keep my foot on the gas and keep pushing, because I know when it gets to a certain point of body fat for myself, pumps in the gym, they get way worse. Insulin sensitivity is in a poor spot. It's gaining that body fat it's such a lot to pull off when it comes to dieting down. I have to be careful. I was sat at a higher body fat for a long time before I started training, so I've got to be more careful than, say, potentially somebody who's been, you know, skinny their whole life. And that's what I have to deal with clients as well. You'll see how different everybody is when you actually work with people like that. So it's essentially being able to actually efficiently grow tissue for longer. So that 27, like, don't get me wrong, if you're pushing for 10 weeks, you don't need a mini cut, right? I've been pushing for 27 weeks and I'm up 10 kilo. So a tidy up to then push back past that point. Still, if we look at this year, that's still going to be what, 47 weeks in a gaining phase, right? It's going to be a long old time of pushing up. So it is just to refresh to then push again, because insulin sensitivity is something that's massive, right? So my fasted blood glucose was 5.3 in the morning. Typically, I would want that to be in the 4s, right? So that's another reason why bringing some body fat down can help that massively. Also, got my bloods done. I'll get my bloods done every like 6 months just to check everything. Everything's really good. Essentially, when something's wrong with my bloods, it's when stress is high, when I'm doing a lot, right? So estrogen came back pretty high, and that can lead to higher body fat. So obviously I need to be careful with pushing food if I feel like that's just going to keep spiking up. Also, I can manage that a little bit by bringing body fat down a little bit as well. So it just makes sense all around with every single scenario right now after 27 weeks to have that little pull down and then be able to push forward again from there. So that is why I'm mini cutting. So if you've been pushing for a long time, you feel like appetite's in the bin, digestion's in the bin, you've maybe got a little bit too soft, just be aggressive, pull 3, 4, 5 kilo off and then get pushing again. There's nothing wrong with doing that, right? And there's definitely its uses there. But if you've been pushing for 10 weeks, you don't need a mini cut at the first little bit of body fat that comes on, right? 27 weeks straight I've been pushing up for, scale weight up every single one of those weeks. So that's why I'm having a little bit of a pull down. You are going to gain some body fat in your gaining phase, and that is absolutely fine. So I said this on the last video, boys, but co-op's a bit Tory, innit? But it's the closest one to me. So I bet you as well, they only have white. Now, I have been loving the white, but I still like a bit of a choice, see if something jumps out at me. But if they don't have a white in it, usually there's like 1 can in the fridge. So if there's less, never coming back here ever again. Right, boys, apologies to Co-op. They actually had the almond milk, which is needed, and a nice cold fresh white. Only 2 though, this is what I mean. If one of the other boys goes to fancy a nice fresh white, the next man, he ain't got his monster. You need a good like 8 at least, surely. So if you go to Co-op, there's no monsters there, apologies. I'm gonna drink that because I'm pretty tired, to be fair, and then we're gonna crack on with check-in. So let's go. Yes, the boys, we just got the legs drilled. It's the day after yesterday. So like I said, I've got 20 minutes cardio now after all my sessions. So I'm gonna jump on. I'll run you through a little bit about what you need to be looking at for when you specifically need a mini cut. I've obviously spoke about me, but I'll go through what you need to do if your goal is to grow, or you feel like you might need a little mini cut just to keep on pushing on. I'm absolutely smoked as well, fellas. We'll get that cardio done because we don't miss. Let's get it. Right then, boys, I am the definition of frazzled. I was gonna speak to you whilst doing the cardio, but that didn't really go to plan because I started and I was goosed after legs. So we'll speak in the car. Hello. Right, so when should you mini cut? Like I was saying in the last clip, right? If you've been pushing for a good while, this is like, don't get me wrong, worst case scenario, you've messed up your post-diet phase period, you've gained too much body fat, then yes, mini cut, you know, yes, it's not ideal, but if you need to diet down to then push up, you need to diet down to then push up. Just don't make that mistake again. You make it once, that's fine, we've all been there, right? So that's number 1. So things to look out for, really. Pumps in the gym going down. You feel like you're getting like a lot softer quite quickly. Like all of a sudden you start gaining like 1 kilo a week and you feel like you're just getting soft like pretty quick. That's always a big sign for me. Appetite, you can use that as a little bit of a reset. training performance, if that starts going in the bin, you just feel like super sluggish, it might just be good to bring a little bit of body fat off, get them fitness levels back up a little bit. So it's those things, looking at that. And it's, you know, if you want to spend the majority of your time growing, which I advise doing, you should be in a good position to grow, right? So if you can just get in a slightly better position to grow and then push, do it, right? Of course, like, spend plenty of time pushing up. Like I said, that's been 27 weeks now with me pushing up. And when you, this is the problem, right? When you go into a mini cut, you're in a fucking mini cut, you're in and you're out. Don't then go into a mini cut, overeat, still eat this, still eat that, and then you don't lose anything in a week. Then you're in a diet phase. That's just, you know, when you're in a mini cut, like, get in and get out of it. So if you're not ready to commit 5 to 8 weeks of like really knuckling down and seeing a big drop per week, don't even bother, don't waste your time, right? Like, really lock into it and get that done, because otherwise you are genuinely just going to waste time when you could have still been pushing up, right? So if you're in, get in and get out. The last thing you want to do is extend that further. Then you are literally just wasting time when you could be growing, right? So in terms of the approach, I'd probably, depending if you like really push for time and you've got like a real specific preference, I'd pull food down a good bit. Like, depending if you've been kind of holding there or pushing, 500 to 1,000 calories. 500 at an absolute minimum, say if you've been like holding and you wanted to get cardio up, get steps up that little bit. So all three is not a bad idea. Then you don't have to do anything crazy, like some cardio in, steps up, and food down. That's kind of the way I like to go with it. So then you don't have to like have a massive drop of food and just not do any cardio. I personally would rather do that. Again, working with clients, I'll go off their preferences. I'll go off what time they've got. You know, if they're absolutely rammed for time and it's stressing them out, then we might just push some cardio and get that done, or just pull food down and get that done. Also depends how high is food. If food is stupidly high and someone's struggling with appetite, we might really push that food down. If someone, you know, is still pretty hungry, I might even, you know, push cardio a little bit more, those types of things. So all things to consider. If you've got any questions, then please let me know below. So next video, boys, we will make sure we cover some training. Obviously, it's been very much food and what I'm doing talk, right? So just make sure you let me know what you want to see, training specific, and I'll get it done. Maybe a nice little road trip. Where shall I get to? Where shall I go to, and what shall I train? Let me know below. But I massively appreciate you watching, boys. Videos coming weekly as always. So please drop me a like, please subscribe if you are not subscribed. It will help me out massively and I can keep these coming. I really appreciate it. Anything you want to see, let me know, and I will catch you boys in the next one. Peace.